want to thank everybody, members of the committee, for the good, hard work. I want to thank you, particularly Chairman Barrasso and Ranking Member Carper. Thank you. And also, it's been, I think Senator Cardin and I have worked, I think, very well together with our staffs, both on this bill and on the highway bill that we previously passed. I'd like to get into just some of the issues that are specific to my area that I think are particularly very, very good for my part of the country. This will reauthorize programs under the Corps of Engineers and the EPA that are critical to West Virginia. In particular, there's a provision in there that I authored that will establish a new program that will provide over $100 million for water and wastewater infrastructure in West Virginia and elsewhere in Appalachia. You know, we're far behind in some cases. This legislation increases investments in our nation's inland waterway infrastructure, and if you know anything about the eastern part of the country, and certainly those locks and dams on the Ohio, Kanawha, and Mon River are extremely important for moving commerce and for recreational purposes. By adjusting the cost share for projects funded with expenditures from the Inland Waterway Trust Fund, a long overdue update and quite welcome to help us expedite construction. It also supports flood control through enhanced cooperation between the Corps and local communities, which is critical to a state like mine, again, because we have experienced catastrophic floods in recent years. And it incorporates important changes to a program I created along with Senator Booker that will help train the next generation of water and wastewater workers. I'm sure all of us are hearing that the workforce is way down in this area, and attracting the new workforce into what can be a career in water and wastewater is something that Senator Booker and I have worked on over the last several years. These are just a couple examples of improvements this will make to our water resource infrastructure. I was also glad to see that some of the provisions that I authored are in the Drinking Water Infrastructure Act. This legislation authorizes several programs that will help community systems, such as those in West Virginia, provide safer, more affordable drinking water. And I think Senator Cardin talked a lot about the importance of, in the COVID atmosphere that we're in now, knowing that your drinking water is safe and how important that is. My bill with Senator Cardin, the Assuring Water Quality Infrastructure Act, is included and will provide grant funding to small water systems to address the issue of water loss. I was astounded when I read an article in our local paper that talked about the 50 or 80% of water loss that some of these systems, because they are so old, are leaking out of old infrastructure. A recent report detailed that some of the systems, as I said, have over 75% of the water they produce leave before it even reaches the tap. And we're lucky in our state because we are, as we are here today in the dampness of Washington, D.C., we do have a lot of water, luckily. The Drinking Water Infrastructure Act, which also includes provisions that address the issue of PFAS, something I've been extremely concerned about, and that contamination, which has been a priority of mine. Importantly, it includes legislation I co-sponsored with Senator Gillibrand that mandates that EPA establish a drinking water standard for two legacy compounds, PFOA and PFOS, which have been shown to cause health problems in communities across the country and in my state particularly. This legislation also authorizes funding to address the presence of PFAS and other contaminants in drinking water through the purchase of filtration systems. In closing, I would like to extend my gratitude to the staff that negotiated these bills many times in our absence, both with the committee and our personal offices. In my office, I'd like to thank Max and Travis and Adam. In particular, I'd like to thank on the committee Brian, Andrew, Lizzie, Craig, Christina, John, Annie, Susan, and Mark with the committee, and Shannon and Andrew with Senator Cardin's office. Their hard work and dedication is to be commended. I do look forward to the day, and maybe hopefully this will be sooner than later, where we marry the two bills, two infrastructure bills together to serve as, I think, a great get back to work, rebuild America's infrastructure, the bills that we've passed out overwhelmingly now unanimously through this committee. So I join with you, Senator Barrasso, as the chair, and others to bring these to the full committee to see these legislation become law. Thank you so much.